Peace and blessings to everybody out there. Welcome back to the Fake World Podcast. This is your boy Bobby VILN. I'm back with another video. Now, not too long ago, I did a video about the sensitivity when it came to what's going on now. It's mad sensitive right now, especially when it comes to LGBTQ, especially when it comes to a certain demographic I like to refer to as the small hats. And that's pretty much it. A couple other people, but a couple other demographics, but not as bad as those two. I asked, are you transphobic? Because there were certain things that were coming out, talking about gender reveals were transphobic, talking about you're misgendering people at birth. What the hell was that? I don't know if y'all heard that, but apparently you're misgendering people at birth if you just base their gender off their genitalia. A lot of confusion, a lot of wild shit, a lot of shit to process. But now, during Women's History Month, Dwayne Wade's child, I like to use child now because I don't want to offend anybody, but Dwayne Wade's child, Zaya Wade, her name is Zaya Wade now, had an interview with Michelle Obama in honor of Women's History Month. That's what they marketed it as. Now, from what I was told, it wasn't necessarily about Women's History Month. Okay? Not only that, Alabama, Mississippi, Utah, and a couple other places have passed bills that would possibly ban transgender women, I think transgendered people in general, from participating in male and female sporting events. I know for a fact there's women's sporting events. Transgender women will not be able to participate in women's sporting events due to the fact that, again, their biological makeup is completely different from that of a biological woman. Now, a lot of people are going to take offense to that, but it's the truth. The male anatomy, our bone structure is way denser. Our muscle fibers are way different from the female anatomy, and regardless of how many hormonal pills you take, or whatever you take in order to transition and produce more estrogen than testosterone, you would not be able to change that genetic makeup. You would not be able to change your biological structure. The only way you'll be able to do that is by cutting off your genitalia. But still, that does not regulate the hormones that is produced by the thymus gland. So that's why they are banning transgender women from participating in transgendered women from participating in women's sports, which I agree with. They should not be able to participate with biological women in sports because they will blow their asses out the water. Like, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Not only that, I forgot who Biden appointed. This was the transgendered lady. I forgot her name, but her and Rad Paul went toe to toe. Rad Paul gave her the blues, basically saying that she is in support of children mutilating themselves before they actually know if they truly want to go through this process or not. It's been a lot. Alabama's not banning, but basically, if I'm not mistaken, Alabama has made it a felony for children to transition before the age of 18. I know I read that right. If I haven't, go ahead and send it to me in my DMs, and I'll go ahead and touch up on it again. But for the most part, that's everything that's going on in regards of the now popular topic of transitioning, especially for children. Now, what's not being spoken about when it comes to the transitioning process is the people that regret transitioning. Once going through the process at an alarming rate of 35%. That's the last time I read up on this shit. That's the last time I tapped in. At a whopping 30 to 35%, it might even be 40, people actually regret going through the transitioning process. They actually want to go back to who they were before the transitioning process. And it's a lot of kids that do that too. It was a lot of kids that went through the process and then they was like, this is not who I want to be. I want to go back. But sometimes it's just too late. My whole thing is, with this whole thing that's going on right now, is why are y'all targeting the kids? That's my question. Why are the kids being targeted? At this point, now it's turning into a whole pedophilic circus, because now you're sexualizing kids before they truly are in that right mind to even think about the opposite or same sex. Look at Wade's child, for an example. Like I said on my story, it wasn't necessarily about his upbringing. It wasn't necessarily about Wade's parenting of his child. It's about his manipulation and his and him taking advantage of the fact that his child felt like she wasn't a boy no more, she's a girl. It's starting to become a problem when it's touching the kids. And they know this. The elites, whatever you want to call these people, they know this. Children are more impressionable. They're easier to mold than actual adults. All you got to do is get to a kid at a certain age, and from that point on, the molding of a child, it's a way smoother process than us. It's a lot of shit that's going on, man. It's a lot of shit that's going on. And I will crack a couple of jokes, but this is actually serious, because you're attacking the kids now. You're attacking the kids now. Why are you allowing children to, what Rad Paul would say, mutilate themselves before they go through puberty? Why? This shit's wild. This shit is fucked up. It's fucked up, because you're allowing kids to go through a process that they don't even, goddamn, they don't even understand themselves fully yet. They don't understand themselves fully yet. Do you know how many times I changed my mind on what I thought I was from the age of 11 to 18, 17? Shit, I was still changing my mind after that until fucking more recently, more than a couple of years ago. Finally got it right more than a couple of years ago. You know? Didn't find my niche until a couple of months ago. So it's just like, the human being is forever changing, forever evolving, especially when you choose to tap in and you choose to expose yourself to all different types of information. You're going to constantly evolve. You're going to constantly change your opinions on certain things. Your opinions might be concrete after you expose yourself to certain information. It all depends. And especially in regards to a very serious procedure as in transitioning, because now they're even trying to make it easier for children to go around their parents and just go through with the process without having their parents' consent. It was the same thing. I forgot the bill that was passed that allowed young girls under the age of 18 to go through with abortions without their parents' consent. It started off with that. I know it's going to be a lot of women like, oh my God, it's enough. He's talking about abortions. Who gives you the right to judge women on what they do with their bodies? No, it's not that. What I'm trying to tell you is that you do not need your parents' consent anymore to do anything. That's where they're going to. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing right now. That's what they're doing right now. They're trying to make it easier for children to order these hormonal drugs to alter their anatomy. But the thing is, it started with shit like underage abortions being stepped on. I would call it stepped on, because now you don't need your parents' consent. You just go and do it. Now you don't need your parents' consent to order these hormone altering drugs to proceed with your transitioning process. They're trying to make it easier to defy the parents, because what the state truly wants to do, the state want to raise your kids. They don't want you to raise your kids, because if you raise your kids, you might go against the grain. That's what it's about. This video, I want to make it longer, but it's just like only 15 minutes for Instagram, right? But California's a prime example. That Senate Bill 145, where they made it a slap on the wrist to be a pedophile. Oral intercourse. I mean, when it comes to oral sex, when it comes to anal sex, as long as the child is willing, it's not a felony. It's a slap on the wrist. As long as the child is willing. What the fuck do willing mean? Children can be fucking manipulated. You see what I'm saying? Like it's trash. A lot of people are letting their sexuality get in the way of the actual achievements that they accomplished. Your sexuality is getting in the way. Your sexuality is outshining your accolades. A lot of people are hypersexuals. They call them hypersexuals. It's all about sex. They're trying to confuse you and tell you that your genitalia don't identify your gender. It's not just your genitalia, it's your chromosomes. The XX or the XY. maybe there might be a part 2.